What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Philly with Jon Marks on PHLY. That intro music kind of sounds like I'm going into a chain restaurant. It's a commercial for a chain restaurant. I like the song. Don't get me wrong, but it does feel like that I'm walking into a chain restaurant, like with my buddies, like a Buffalo Wild Wings or something, and enjoy wings and beer and things like that. We're here on a Tuesday morning, the day after a dominant win by the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot to talk about. My hair is kind of fluffy today because I did not shower. I've been sleeping on the couch the last couple nights, so it's been a rough 48 hours for me here. And also, I have a major problem with the thermostat guy around here. JP joins me again this morning as Tyler Zulli is out for the rest of the week. So it's one of my, before we get to what we're going to talk about, it's one of my biggest pet peeves in a work environment. It's not even the refrigerator, and our refrigerator is not in bad shape.
Right.
Or the condition of the kitchen, which is a lot of, or people putting shrimp or tilapia in a microwave, which is I have a major
That's a
issue.
violation.
It is, but so, man, my wife is guilty of this. Everybody I've ever worked with is guilty of this. When you walk into a room, or in this case, a studio, and it's cold or it's hot, the thermostat idiot looks at it and says, "Oh my God, I'm freezing," and puts the heat up 12 degrees. Now, it's 68 degrees in the room. I don't need it 80 degrees. I need it 72 degrees. So what you do is you put the thermostat up 4 degrees to 72 because that's the desired heat. Mm-hmm. Putting it up 12 degrees doesn't make it get any warmer faster. It just makes it 80 degrees or you'll freeze up the damn thing. So somebody did it. I came in here. It was set to 80 degrees. I'm like, it's not working. It's still 68 degrees. You can't. First, we have to turn it on, the button on. But yeah, so you have to just 72, pump it up to 72.
Yeah, dude. I mean, in this office, you gotta dress appropriately. I've just already learned that. Even in the summertime, I bust out the pants. I'll wear the long sleeve shirts if it's cold. Yeah. If it's cold enough. I mean, it's funny because like even if it's like 70 on a summer day, it still feels like it's 50 or 60 in here.
It's cold in here.
You always got to bundle up, John. Always got to bundle up.
Well, so sometimes I took the jacket off, but it was cold in here, but it's feeling a little bit toastier right now. By the way, Philly with Jon Marks presented by our good friends at Bet Parks. Eagles, 7.5-point favorites over the Jags, so it's went up a half a point. If you're looking to bet the Eagles on Sunday, I would just stand pat to see where that line goes. Maybe it goes up to 8. I think it's going to stay right where it is for the rest of the week here. So let's do this. The Eagles. I think after, again, the day after a loss or a day after a win, you're still running on adrenaline. Mm-hmm. You're in major reaction mode. So then the day after, when you've calmed down a little bit, it's like, all right, so how do you now feel, right? Mm-hmm. And I definitely, even when the Eagles had a winning record, and they've won 3 straight games now, and they're 5-2, but to me, it was like, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like a Super Bowl winning team. Yeah, they'll win 9 or 10 games, but are they going to win much more than that? So now at 5-2 with a really big stretch coming up, they've won 3 straight games. The question is, do you think this is real? As being a creature in the moment, you're going to feel great after wins and you're going to feel bad after losses. But does this feel real and sustainable? And to me, it absolutely positively does. It does. Early on, you saw a lot of inconsistency on offense. And I guess if you're taking your boot out of the melting pot, which is Philadelphia, and you're like trying to fairly analyze it, yeah, it probably was going to be a little bit of a growing process here with a new offense, with a new offensive coordinator, with Saquon Barkley coming in. And now it's like, okay, what's the balance of what we want to do on offense? How much are we running the ball? Are we running the offense through Saquon Barkley? What exactly are we doing? And what you've seen the last 3 weeks, and you saw it against the Giants, And then you saw them still do it against the Bengals, but you saw the offense is now running through Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
The Bengals were locked in on stopping Saquon Barkley. And then fourth quarter, when the game was almost decided, he got 7 carries, I think, for 57 yards. But it didn't matter that the Bengals were locked in on stopping him because that just meant Jaylen Herz was going to beat him through the air. And that's exactly what happened. Kellen Moore did a great job with play calling because he kept going to the running back. He didn't forget that they still need to run the football, even if you're only getting 2 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry. You can't come in with 3 straight passes and go 3 and out. Yeah. And that's what we saw a lot of last year, and that's what we saw a lot of earlier this season. It was fairly predictable and wasn't working. But he's adapted his system, Kellen Moore, to fit Jaylen Herz, to fit Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore might have studied film in the offseason to try to get ready for being the offensive coordinator and then training camp. But until you actually play the games, that's when you're like, all right, here's what I need to do. So through 7 games, the Eagles offense has adapted well, and it feels like right now they found their identity in what they want to do. And the defense to me is the most impressive part and the most energizing for me as a fan, because you're seeing young stud players emerging right before our eyes. And Vic Fangio's done a better job in the last couple of weeks of adapting and adjusting during games. Remember that, forget which game it was, but he was just allowing everything up. Like they didn't bring the corners up. They were just letting the other team dink and dunk and dink and dunk. We haven't seen that in recent weeks. So, JP, I think that this is very much sustainable. This feels like now, playing great week 4 doesn't mean squat. Starting to play well now and coming into your own and figuring out what you are is far more important right now. And that's what it feels like the Eagles are doing right now to me. So I feel great about this right now. And this does feel real. I feel like that if you're looking for reasons to believe that this team can win the Super Bowl and get back to the Super Bowl, we're seeing them right now.
I don't know if I can go Super Bowl just yet, but like the last 2 weeks definitely has given us a little bit of confidence here with the Birds. And it's tough to judge this team because early on they were dealing with some significant injuries. When you lose one of the best receiving duo in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, it's definitely tough to produce some offense, but they found a way to get some wins. But the last 2 weeks, I think that's the big part about it, John, is like on offense, it seems like they have their identity. And if you ask Nick Sirianni, identity is a different term, right? But dude, run the ball, set that run game up, and it's kind of like 2022, but I think there's a little bit of a different wrinkle because you don't have to rely on just like that spread offense when you're just running a lot of RPOs and RPRs, right? You can put Jaylen Herz under center. You can use some Ben Van Simeren, and you saw Ben in that second half when they were trying to kill that clock. Dude, you know me, I love the fullback. The fullback is back in the NFL in 2024, and it is awesome. But John, to me, the key's not even really the offense because, like, look, when you have Saquon, when you have Devontae, you have AJ, you're gonna get some yards, you're gonna get some points. But to me, the key has been the defense. And what you saw on Sunday was the defense really got you the win there. I mean, after that first drive, they really clamped down and they shut down that Bengals offense. And more importantly, they created turnovers. We talked about it. They may have not gotten as much pressure as they did on Daniel Jones the week prior, but you got those 2 huge turnovers against the Bengals, gave some solid field position to the Birds, and they were able to capitalize on that. And I think that is duplicatable. So I know a lot of people today are asking and wondering, are the Eagles legit? Are they back? Because obviously it's been a little dramatic in the beginning parts of the year. We've had a little bit of drama that we didn't want to really deal with, but it feels like we're getting back to the football of it. And are they back? And I think that, yes, they are back. Now, Super Bowl contender, I don't know about that. But
got a long way to go, luckily.
NFC is pretty wide open, too. Other than the Lions, I mean, who's really scaring you in this conference?
First year with the Commanders, rookie quarterback. I think they're playing great. But again, like, this is a veteran team. The Eagles are a veteran team. The confidence and the swagger that this defense is starting to play with is impressive.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the offense, you can run the offense through Saquon Barkley in the running game, but you also can't be playing catch up all the time. And if the defense is giving up early points, then that makes the Eagles one-dimensional. It's like, well, we're going to have to throw.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out too, John. We got to start quicker, man.
I mean, don't ask Nick Sirianni. He's got it. He's got all that. But you know what? Last week, it wasn't the offense's fault. They were actually driving, but the defense was on the field for the first 10 10 plus minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So you can't blame the offense for last week. But no, but it's true. Like when you talk about even getting back to a Super Bowl, these things got to be cleaned up. But one more thing, and I want to make sure that I give Jaylen Herz his roses here. I'm not going to go crazy. But I started to see the confident quarterback that I saw at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
Because as much as we say like they're at their best when their offenses run through their running game, that's true. But Jalen also developed into a very confident thrower from the pocket. It wasn't just he's running all over the place. No, he was a true dual threat with his legs and with his arm. He could beat with his arm. We saw that in the Super Bowl. So that's the Jalen Herz we need to get back to. I don't need 40 passes a game. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm talking about. I need big throws. I need big plays from the pocket so he stays healthy.
You're spot on, John. I mean, like, it's with Jalen, it's all about making the right decisions. And, like, yes, we saw the 20 attempts, but obviously, the first drive for the Bengals was like, what? Like, it felt like it was an entire quarter that first drive. So that killed
almost.
It was like, I think it was like 6 minutes and some change. So it really killed half of that first quarter.
No, it was 10 plus minutes.
Oh, really?
Yes, the first drive of the game by the Bengals was 10 minutes and some odd. I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay.
It was.
They definitely, regardless, they definitely killed a lot of the clock. And then at the end of the game, obviously, you're just running it out. But Jalen made the plays that he needed to on Sunday. And, of course, the big one, that bomb to Devontae Smith, that's the type of stuff that we want to see. And, like, that's the thing, like, that's why, like, I love what they did on Sunday because, yes, the running game was prevalent. But then that sets it up for that big play, that downfield throw to Devontae Smith. And that stuff that was there in 2022, that's why that running game was so prevalent because that big play was there.
10 minutes and 4 seconds on that first drive.
That can't happen, man.
So here we go again. Awesome. This is what we're going to do. They're just going to march up and down the field. And, man, they locked them down after that. They did. They locked them down. So
I'm not going to knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year because we know what Jags don't have.
Well, we'll talk about all that. Harry Mays, my buddy Harry Mays from the old Fanatic days. H is going to join us coming up at awesome. 8:25, so 13 minutes from now. So stay tuned for that. But hey, let's get to the headline sponsored by Glad Hair Restoration. Bald is now optional. If you want to improve how you look and how you feel about yourself, Glad Hair has the right treatment for you. Regain your confidence. Visit gladhairmctr.com or call 610-980-4000 to get started. And listen, if you want us to do the work for you, you want all of your Philly sports headlines delivered right to your mailbox every morning. Well, it's not your mailbox outside. It's your email every morning. That's right. The PHLY Daily. And Rich Hoffman Jr., man, he spends a lot of time. I don't know if he gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning or he does it late at night, but it gets delivered to your inbox every morning. Everything you need if you're a Philly sports fan and beyond. And it's free.
Love it.
Subscribe at allphly.com. I read it every morning. There's great videos that are embedded from Twitter and everything else. So it is your one-stop shop for getting all your sports news and information.
What we need to mention, though, is, John, right now we have our special. We have our $48 intro special right now for diehards. That's $4 a month. We saw here in the comment section, K-Red said he loved my 80s Retro Line Skyline t-shirt. Well, you can get that when you become a diehard for free. But you also get discounted T-shirts on there, so definitely keep an eye out for that, guys.
And there you go. And you can get that at the website, allphly.com. That is not PHLY Daily, but that's how you get a lot of the great stuff that we do. All right, so Dodgers on the verge of winning a World Series after last night's 4-2 win over the Yankees. The best of 7 series, 3-0. Game 4 tonight at Yankee Stadium. Freddie Freeman. He got the scoring started, a 2-run home run in the top of the first inning. Now, that's 5 straight World Series games that he's hit a home run, going back to his Atlanta days. That ties a major league record. Dodger starter Walker Buehler. 5 scoreless innings. Yankees trailed 4-0 entering the 9th. Alex Verdugo hit a 2-out, 2-run home run to cut the lead in half. But that was it. Dodgers win 4-2. They look for the sweep tonight. Luis Gil for the Yankees, and it's a bullpen game for the Dodgers. A potential clinching game in the World Series. You cannot have a bullpen game.
A little confident there, huh, Dodgers?
But that's what they did it in the NLCS too. You just baseball needs to change. You can't have bullpen games. I'm sorry. You need to put out a starter. The starter can't make it past a couple innings, then you can get him out. But this bullpen. Putting a guy that normally pitches the 7th or the 8th inning, no freaking way. In a World Series game, that's bad, man. That's bad. You need starting pitching. You need starting pitchers out there. You don't need this crap. Bothers me.
You're speaking to the right crowd, man. Philadelphia's seen a lot of painful bullpen games in the past couple of years.
No doubt. All right, is it over tonight?
I have to. I mean, the Yankees got to come out with one.
Don't the Yankees
right?
have to win one game
in the Bronx, John? Come on, they got to come out.
I
with
think
one.
the Yankees get a win tonight, and then it's over in 5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're the Dodgers, you want to celebrate in LA. No, you don't want to celebrate in New York.
Yeah, well, just let them get the win.
Yeah,
let them enjoy it. Let the Yankees fans. So the only thing worse last night than the Yankees' performance was what happened pregame. So Fat Joe, who is a New Yorker rapper, Fat Joe, this was really awkward and weird. So they bring him out pregame, and Fox had the entire, it was like 5 minutes. Fox had it. You can start it wherever. I think like 50 seconds is where it gets really bad or where he starts rapping. So here's Fat Joe before the game last night on Fox. This is courtesy of Fox Sports.
Sup, New York! Let's go, Yankees!
All right.
This was definitely on the iPod, by the way, John. Growing up.
Okay, it's different over here.
I can tell. Also cursing? Tommy Edmonds like, yeah, okay.
New York City.
This is so bad, John. Apply that pressure.
So I'm watching this, and I'm like,
I am the ghost of Babe Ruth.
I'm the ghost of Babe Ruth.
I got 100 brother, I'm from New York.
oh, it's so bad.
Oh, dude. Oh, look at that. Yeah,
You got one person dancing.
Go, Karen.
From the home of a terrorist. Yes, I'm from New York.
All right, I've had enough.
Oh,
because that goes on for another 3.5 minutes.
It's terrible. You know what's bad about this, John, is that the fact that, look, dude, we saw what the Dodgers did, right? Like, you have Ice Cube come out, and it was nice and chill. Like, you know,
it worked.
Yeah, he's playing. It was a good day. And then, of course, he goes, this is for Fernando. And, dude, if you're a Dodgers fan, you got to run through a wall of hearing that. And then here comes Fat Joe. Like, first off, there's not better New York artists out there than you call
maybe
Fat Joe?
Maybe they said, like, hell no, I'm not going out there and rapping into a track before game 3. Yeah, of course there's better artists. I mean, there's 100 better artists that could have done it.
I mean, Meek Mill did a better job. Was in 2022 when he came out in the quad with the Fanatic.
But you know what? They said Nas out there or Jay-Z out there or whatever. Like, Jay-Z had his moment in 2009 with
that is true.
Empire State of Mind or whatever.
Right.
They're trying to do the same thing, except like that didn't work, man.
Yeah, there's not really a big New York rapper right now that pulls like Jay-Z
Nah, that's just it was awkward. Nobody thought that was good. All right, so the Yankees, do you have the Stanton thing?
Oh, do I have the stand? This
so
is so
the Yankees
good.
had a chance to score. This was the 4th inning, 2 outs. Giancarlo Stanton's on second base. This might be the slowest turnaround third I've ever seen.
All right, here we go.
To Volpe.
This is courtesy of Fox Sports.
That's down for a base hit.
Dude.
Here comes Hernandez's throw. It is in time.
He's like, oh man, dude, what happened to him, man?
Hernandez cuts down Stanton at home plate.
What happened is he's like
cooked.
a caveman. He's huge.
I do.
But he's slow. I guess I just haven't paid much attention to Stanton rounding second with 2 outs going to third base. I saw there were a couple of videos from different angles that were out there, or from people, people on Twitter like that. Fun, like there's Stanton right there.
Stanton running home. But it's crazy though, John, because like, look, I know Stanton has gotten older, but like, dude, he was at one point in high school, he was like a top linebacker prospect. And
yeah, bro, that was 12 years ago.
He looks
man.
like Vogelbach right there.
No, I don't. I was surprised at how slow he was right there, but
it looked like he was jogging. I think I could have round out third.
He don't make his money for his speed there.
That's true.
There, JP.
It's the power.
All right, well, there you go. Monday Night Football. Steelers improved to 6-2 after a 26-18 win over the Giants. Game was tied at 9 at the half, but Calvin Austin III, 73-yard punt return put the Steelers up, and then another Austin III touchdown, a 29-yard pass from Russell Wilson put him away as the Steelers get the win. Najee Harris, 19 carries, 114 yards. Mr. Unlimited 278 yards, 20 of 28, 1 touchdown. And the Giants, their offense, they just suck. Tyrone Tracy actually had 145 yards on 20 carries, including a 45-yard touchdown run. Giants 2-6 on the season, home against the Commanders next Sunday. All right, Sixers off yesterday. Next up, the Pistons tomorrow night down at the Wells Fargo Center. The return of Tobias Harris.
Dude, we might have to go, John. What are tickets looking like these days for that?
Listen, I mean, I hope there's a tribute video. Or how about this? The 76ers who don't care what the room says or the reading the room, there will be a Tobias Harris tribute video. And I promise you on Thursday, my head will explode on the show.
Can we get a crumble cookie in that tribute video?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna text my friend that works for the 76ers to see. I texted him before the Washington Eagles game, and I'm like, is Josh Harris going to be at Lincoln Financial Field in a booth? And he's like, yes. I'm like, yeah, I figured he was going to. I'm like, just keep him off camera, please, because I don't feel like dealing with this crowd.
Can't stand that.
Flyers off yesterday. Tonight in Boston.
Oh, man.
In Boston.
I hate Boston.
So there you go. All right, we'll get to Harry Mays coming up here in a second. He'll join us. But let's talk about glatt hair restoration. That's right. Look at my hair. Even with it being fluffy, and it's fluffy. I didn't put new product in it because as I said, I slept on the couch, so it's all like it's kind of bedheaded. But it works because that's kind of my hair. I go for the bedhead look, right? But yeah, glatt hair restoration. If you're losing your hair or like you want to go full out hair restoration like I did, they're the experts in the industry, the most experience, the most success. Their hair team has over 30 years of experience. So I can tell you straight up right now, after knowing the industry a little bit, man, you're getting the best with glatt hair restoration. I've been caught in now every time I log on Instagram, I get these hair commercials, and every one of them is like, yeah, this is such baloney. And then you look at the comments and people are like, nice try, Diddy. Because you get the guy that has this hair, and then it's like they take spray paint and they spray the head. It's like, come on, you're not regrowing your hair. That's not real. Shampoo's not regrowing your hair, right? This works. Glatt hair restoration by Morgenstern Medical. I'm just telling you, this is the place to go. Not just hair restoration, vitamin supplementation. If you're trying to keep the hair that you have so you don't lose anymore, this is a great option. You don't need to be in the hair restoration mode completely. I get maintenance every year on my hair. It stops the shedding. Every year they do a before and after picture with me. And when you're looking at the before and after picture, you're not necessarily looking for improvement. You're looking, if it's the same, that's a win. That means that you haven't lost any hair. And that's what I'm getting year after year. You can get a complimentary one-on-one consultation because the hair team's going to pinpoint the best course of treatment for you. Glatt hair is not about restoration. It's about innovation. Call them today. Bald's now optional. Regain your confidence. Get your hair. GLAT, glatthairmctr.com. Or call them 610-980-4000, 610-980-4000, glatthairmctr.com. Or slide into my DMs and ask me a question. I got pictures documenting everything that I do over at Glatt Hair. There you go. All right, let's talk about BetParks for a second. On the BetParks app right now, it's the only app that I would ever recommend to anybody. Anybody. All right, Eagles are 7.5-point favorites over the Jags. Went up by a half point. The Flyers tonight in Boston, plus 165 on the money line. Bruins minus 205. I don't feel good about this one tonight. Minus 205 is a lot, though, if you're going to bet the Bruins. World Series Game 4, Yankees minus 137. That gentleman's sweep. A lot of people thinking they get to win tonight. Dodgers in the bullpen game, plus 117. And you can watch and wager and then double down on fourth down by playing live dealer, blackjack, craps, roulette, and more while watching all your favorite games. And new users right now, if you download the BetParks online casino app and sportsbook, you get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. BetParks.com for all the details. Your casino bonus must be wagered, and you must be 21 and in NJ, PA, Maryland, Ohio, or Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, well, let's bring on the show, making his second appearance and first time on the show, a very popular appearance by my old buddy from 97.5, The Fanatic, Now living in the podcast world, he's got his Swinging and Digging Golf podcast. I see him on TV with Harry Donahue all the time talking golf. And now he's doing an Eagles post-game show, which he'll tell us about with Jason Martinez. Harry Mays joins us. What's up, H?
Hey, what's going on, John? And there was so much there during the break that I could get to, but I got to start with this. Your hair looks fantastic on this Ecamm interview setup you got here. I'm telling you, it looks terrific. Dr. Glatt's people doing a great job.
They're doing fantastic, and I actually think it's because I've been sleeping on the couch, and the pillow gives me just the right amount of volume where I need it.
That's the other thing you mentioned, the bedhead look. Yeah. I go for that too. I mean, if you're my age, I'm 59, I'll be 60 next June, and you still have hair at this point, which I do. The bedhead look works for me. I mean, you just get up, you put your two hands under the faucet, get a little water on there, and just sort of, do that, and you're good.
You have great hair for an old guy, Harry. Your hair is in better shape than your liver probably right now.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's a lock. That's a stone cold lead pipe lock. But you mentioned about the spray paint. Doesn't LeBron do the spray paint?
Ron Popeil?
No, LeBron.
He does the powder.
Is that what it is?
LeBron apparently has the powder, and that's supposed to stick to your fibers. He's got the Stephen A. Smith hairline too. It starts up here right now, but he does that. Okay. You'll get this guy that's like, and he'll be spraying this. He's got a big full head of hair, and he's spraying it on there. It's like, of course he has great hair because he already has good hair. It's like Anthony. Like Anthony, if he sprayed it on his head, but he's got all his hair. He's got a good hairline. Yeah. Like you got a great hairline.
Right. Now it's receding as we go, but it's
what else did you have from the last couple minutes? Anything?
Well, the Bet Parks app. I mean, I love the Bet Parks app, and I'm taking the Bruins tonight. The Flyers stink. They stink.
Well, they do, but at least Mitchkoff's scoring goals, so you can watch and be entertained by that. But their goaltending stinks. This is the most hockey I've watched in years, Harry.
How about Coots the other night busting out with a 5-point game in the hat trick?
Yeah, I almost called him Laviolette. Tortorella goes from putting him on the fourth line where he has a 5-point game with a hat trick.
Yeah, how about that?
All right, well, Harry, listen, if we're not talking Eagles in this town right now, then we're doing the wrong thing. Right. And they're on a 3-game winning streak, and like the Browns stink, the Giants stink, and they dominated the Giants for sure. And this is one of these measuring stick games, so where it's like, all right, the Bengals are probably underachieving, but they have real talent on offense, and you're on the road, and they're desperate for a win. They're under 500, so they're desperate for a win. And, God, they give up that 10-minute drive to start the game. But then after that, lockdown city. The defense played great. The offense has finally, I believe, found its identity. And Kellen Moore now is kind of like, all right, I feel like I know what to do. And they'll need to adapt because the league will adjust to what they're doing or whatever. But they didn't need to have Saquon Barkley having a great day. They were able to go to the passing game and they won. So I can say right now, to me, this is the best I felt about this Eagles team. Maybe even more than last year, because we never really truly bought in. Even at 10-1 last year, we're like, all right, but like they're winning these games fugazi. So, like, are you buying this right now? Does this feel real to you how the Eagles are playing?
Yeah, after last Sunday's effort against Cincinnati, I am. That was their most complete effort, easily, of the season. And I thought you raised a great point. These coordinators are now finally settling in. And I'm going to give Vic Fangio the nod, too, because I thought that, outside of that first drive where they had the ball, Cincinnati had the ball for 10 minutes, and they converted every third down. Going to Gesicki. I mean, he was unbelievable on third down. They had no answer for him. But after that drive, they really settled in, and he started sending some pressure. I know they didn't have a lot of sacks. I think Nolan Smith might have had the only sack of the game in that first half. But the guys on the back end, I was really impressed with the way the young players have been playing on the back end for this Eagles defense. I mean, you had plays being made by young guys in that second half that were huge. You had Cooper DeJean, who that kid's going to be really good. Quinyon Mitchell is tremendous. He's tremendous. I just think he's so aggressive that he fears nothing. And you had Cooper Jean making a play on Jamar Chase in open space, a tackle
on
for
fourth
loss
down
at a big key of the game. That's exactly right. It was a 4th and 1 at the Cincinnati 37, and I thought Cincinnati was really desperate there. They realized at that point, going forward on 4th down in their own end, that if the Eagles get the ball, the Eagles are going to score. And we have to score here. It was a mode of desperation, but I think that's where they were in the game. And DeJean makes a tremendous play. Then you had Isaiah Rodgers, who was this guy that was suspended last year with the Colts for gambling, that Howie Roseman goes out and plucks. It was one of these below-the-radar moves. And I remember thinking, that kid can play a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how they work him in. We had Slay go out for the injury, and here comes Isaiah Rodgers, on Jamar Chase, it deflects the ball, makes a great pass defense with his left hand, and it goes right into Gardner Johnson's hands for the interception. I mean, that was huge. Because, Cincinnati was starting, maybe they get life there. They score there. They still have life in the game.
They were down 10 at that point. They were down
27-17.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah. So a couple of nice plays by some young players and also some, players that, weren't on this team last year.
Yeah. CJGJ, he has quite a personality, right?
He is, yeah.
What we saw 2 years ago that they missed last year, he's Johnny on the spot for these interceptions. He always seems to be at the right place at the right time.
He's around the ball. Yep.
He is, and he doesn't miss. And you're right. That was an excellent play. And forget about if it's an incompletion there, who knows what happens on the rest of that drive. The fact that it's an interception, you change the momentum, you totally change. You change that game. There were a couple moments on Sunday that the defense really, really stepped up and changed the game. And I agree with you. These young players that they have right now are tremendous. They really are.
You also had the old guy on 3rd and 1 stuffing Zach Moss in the backfield and keeping it for a 4th and 1. Brandon Graham made that play.
Who's been playing great, Harry.
He's been playing lights out.
I don't know how you retire after this year.
I know. Well, maybe you just want to, feel good when you're in your 50s. You start thinking about that. But I agree with you. He's not playing at a level where you'd think like the guy's got to go. He's playing great.
I'll say this because I haven't worked with Brandon I did a show for 7 years weekly, and I don't think he's ready to retire. I don't think he's ready to retire, and he never said that. But last year when we talked, he was like, I want to keep playing. He's relatively healthy. Now, maybe this is my last year and I'm going to go out like this and I'd rather go out playing at a high level than not. I don't know, man. I mean, he's playing so well. By the way, this defense shouldn't want to get rid of him if he's playing like this. He's settled into a role. Right? He knows he's getting close to 30 snaps, if not 30 snaps a game, and he's productive. He's productive in the run game. He's smart. He knows when to shoot gaps and make plays in the backfield. Yeah, and by the way, I got to shout out Nakobe Dean too, Harry, because I've been one of these people for the last couple of years that have said can't stay healthy, and just honestly, he hasn't shown me a lot when he's been in there. He hasn't flashed. You barely even know that he's on the field. And hey, listen, he slid to the 3rd round for a reason, and we're seeing the reason right now. He's been good this year. He's emerging into at least a solid starter, if not more. Nakobe Dean's been great. So I've been critical of him. So we got to praise him because he's looked really, really good multiple weeks here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And also I mentioned Nolan Smith with that sack. He has 3 straight games now with a sack, making plays behind the line of scrimmage. So yeah, I thought it was all in all an effort where you brought up Saquon Barkley. They didn't have to lean on him. He had a really good game, but it wasn't like where they needed 130, 140 yards out of him. I mean, they were moving the football, spreading the ball around. This Calcaterra has settled in now to be a pretty decent option for Jaylen Herz. Right now it's like, hey, I'd love to get Goddard back, but if he's going to be playing like this, there's no rush.
There's no rush. No, they've been great. Jaylen Herz. I think everybody would agree that he's playing, or the game on Sunday was probably his best game since last year. And he's not doing too much. He's not turning the ball over.
Right.
And it seems clear to me right now that they're going to run the offense through the running game because Jalen's better suited like that. They did the same thing in 2022. And in games in the playoffs towards the end of the year, Jaylen Herz was throwing the ball so confidently. He wasn't leaving the pocket prematurely. He was stepping up and navigating the pocket. He was throwing the ball confidently down the field. That throw to Devontae Smith where he chucked it 50 yards in the air was a great throw. It was a great catch, but it was a great confident throw where he said, boom, I'm sending this down there, and he's going to make the throw. He wasn't tentative. He wasn't thinking about it before he threw it. He was letting it fly. That's the Jaylen Herz we saw in 2022, at the end of 2022. That's the quarterback we need. If the Eagles are winning anything this year, Harry, we can talk defense. We can talk Saquon Barkley. We can talk coordinators. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play to that level we saw in 2022, this team's not making the Super Bowl or getting anywhere close.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's, I think, 4 straight games now where he hasn't turned the ball over. And that was the first thing. You had to get that under control. I mean, not only interceptions, but fumbles too. He was just, really kind of reckless, I thought, with the ball in a lot of instances. But it's been 4 straight games with no turnovers. And, the ball you talk about, to Devontae was, it was delivered perfectly. He throws a really good deep ball. And he had some pressure in his face in that play. And you're right, he stood right in there. But the other thing I noticed and was glad to see is he used his legs a little bit on Sunday. There were some plays where, they had that quarterback draw in the red zone where you had Juergens leading the way, sort of a la Jason Kelsey. And then you had Barkley coming in there with another block, and he sort of followed both of them. That was a really nice play. If he can mix in a couple of plays with his legs, not leaving the pocket too early, like you mentioned, but, call some draws. And I think that's all part of, the coordinator sort of getting his feel, for what this team does and situationally, what to call. So, all around, you got to be feeling really good about it because I agree with you. The Bengals are a quality football team with a lot of talent. I can't explain how they're 0-4 at home. It's just one of those weird things, but they got a great quarterback, and it was a road win against what I think is a good football team.
Yeah, the young talent emerging before our eyes is exciting on defense.
It is
because they're only going to get better. And man, you had mentioned DeJean and Mitchell. They look like cogs for many years to come.
Yeah.
All right, Jags this week. I'm not worried about that game, but then but it is a look ahead because the Cowboys are the following week in Dallas. And that's the 425er. That's most likely going to be a Nance and a Romo game if CBS has it. Mm-hmm. And then it's short week Thursday night home against the Commanders, who are playing great football.
Yeah.
And then you're at the Rams and at the Ravens. So you get past this week and you got to get a win against the Jags because they are inferior and they're Doug's going to be gone at the end of the year if he makes it. But then the stretch of at the Cowboys, short week against the Commanders, at the Rams, and then at the Ravens. That's the gauntlet this year. Harry.
Yeah,
4 tough games.
That's a good stretch. I can't explain how the Ravens, lose to the Browns and Jameis Winston, but I guess that's the NFL. You go on the road in the division, against what is looking like an inferior team, and you can still lose. So that's why this league is what it is. But you mentioned the Jaguars. I can't explain how that quarterback has regressed under Doug Pederson. And you're right, Doug, unless they turn it around here really quick, he's going to be looking for a realtor in late November. But the Dallas game is always, a great thing here in Philadelphia. Dallas is not very good right now. They can't stop the run and they can't run the football. And it's amazing how skittish their quarterback gets when things get tight and the pressure is on. He turned it over. I think he had 2 interceptions this past week against the Niners. And, that's what he does in big spots when he doesn't have a running game to lean on. And right now, I look for Saquon Barkley to have a huge night against the Cowboys next week or 2 weeks from now.
They guaranteed Ezekiel Elliott $3 million for this year.
Yeah.
And you're lucky if he gets 3 yards. Derrick Henry got $9 million guaranteed in his contract to Ravens. Think about that.
I know. Yeah. Well, isn't that Jerry the GM?
Jerry the GM.
The GM, yeah.
He's the best. Harry, you and Jason do an Eagles post-game show. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's on the Locked On network on YouTube. It's Locked On Sports Philadelphia is the YouTube page, and we do 30 minutes. That's all they want us because I guess they figure we're going to say something stupid if we go any longer. But it's as soon as the game ends, we go on for 30 minutes and break it down. And, we get right to the business, as they say. There's no calls or no nothing. It's just analysis and opinions, and we're in and we're out. And you can, catch it on YouTube, Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube page.
Let's go to the phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Bruno would once say.
Right. Right.
Wait, everybody always talks to me when we talk about the golden days of the Fanatic. JP here with me today. We talked about it this week. He's like, the best lineup the Fanatic ever had was Bruno and Mays, or whatever they called it, Tony or Harry, depending on the day. Marks and Brace in the Mikey Miss with Jason Martinez. Yes. That was a great lineup. I think that was the height of 97.5 the Fanatic. That was the most fun I had working there during that period, Harry.
Oh, me too. And wasn't that still with Mike and Mike in the morning?
Yeah, it was before Anthony came over, and I never really cared for Mike and Mike.
I didn't either.
Right.
It wasn't my cup of tea, as
none of us really were, but like, listen, we started the station at 10 o'clock, and I felt we had a great. So I always get people to come up to me when they talk to me about that era. I'm like, Tony and Harry's show was really, really fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Shows.
That's what it was. It was fun. I can't even tell you what we talked about, but it was fun. and there was a moment there that we had a big remote downtown. I forget where it was, but the whole station was there. It was like an all day, every show at the same spot remote. And Mike were in town. This was like this big deal. The Greenberg and Golick came. I love Golick.
It was at the Hard Rock.
Is that where it was?
It was either at the Hard Rock. We did it at that place in King of Prussia, the brewery at King of Prussia, and then we did it at Xfinity Live each time that Mike and Mike came in. But
was that the Rock Bottom Brewery? Or something?
Bottom, yes. Rock Bottom and King of Prussia. We did one of those.
But it was at one of these places where those guys, the morning show was here, and the old boss came up to me and asked me, along with a couple other people, if I wanted to meet Greenberg, and everybody else was like, "Oh yeah." I go, "No, I'll pass," and he didn't like that.
No,
he was not happy with me. That was one of the many days where he was not happy
with you.
He was not happy.
Whatever. I saw him at the Hard Rock. He came out. He was like hiding in the back, and then they came up and introduced him. He came out like a big star. Like, all right, he said his 3 minutes, and then he was gone. I'm like, good. I don't like him anyway. I hate him anyway. I didn't want to like him. 'Cause you meet somebody and you're like, he's such a nice guy. I know. You start to like him because you're like, he's a nice guy.
I wanted to maintain my opinion of him.
Agreed. Well, honestly, Harry, it's why a lot of times I don't like to develop relationships with these teams, because I want to just shoot it how I feel it, instead of worrying about like, oh well,
I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Right? Exactly. No, screw them all. Screw them all, Harry.
Exactly.
All right, listen. I appreciate it, and you do your golf podcast with Moose called Swing It and Ding It. So just follow everything, all your social medias for all that, right?
Yeah, if you like golf, you'll like that podcast. And Harry Mays at Harry Mays TU on Instagram and X.
Did somebody create a fake Instagram account for you?
They might have.
Because there's another Harry Mays Instagram account that's out there that's not yours. I didn't know if you got hacked or what.
Oh no, maybe I did get hacked. I wouldn't even know. I'm not on Instagram very often. I don't post a lot.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. I appreciate it.
All right. You got it, man. Anytime.
All right, H. There he is, Harry Mays. One of my favorite guys ever. H Mays. Yeah, Harry has when you have it's like new people they recommend on Instagram for you to follow. Yeah. And it's like, why is there another Harry account? So then immediately you're like, oh, did he get hacked and he had to make a new account because he got hacked? But you also see where somebody, for whatever reason, takes his picture and starts
making a fake profile.
Like sending me messages like, "Hey, I need money. Can you send Western Union me this?" Well, Harry didn't do that, but other people have done it.
Right. Oh my God.
I'm like, no.
Careful out there, guys.
I'm like, no. You should
like that. Like, did you hear about that lady who sent like $10,000 to who she thought was Trey Turner on Facebook? Guys, listen, if a professional athlete's asking you for anything like that, trust me, they're fine.
I'm getting old. My parents are getting old. My in-laws are getting old. There's a lot of scams that are out there that you can very easily be took by. Younger people deal with it. So be on the lookout, man. It's bad.
It's terrible, man.
It's bad. All right. We got a lot of stuff to get to before we get out of here. So let's try to do it. But first, I got to throw it to my man, JP. JP, what do we got?
That's right. And we're going to start off with talking about our friends over at Rite Aid, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, when the seasons are changing, it's important to have Rite Aid on our side because, look, obviously, listen, there's going to be illnesses going on. We hear a lot of snifflings, a lot of coughing, We got the cough drops going on in the office, so we always stop by Rite Aid for everything we need with that. Obviously, for myself and in my skin, everything gets dry. All right, with it getting cold, the air is getting crisp. Once it hits your skin starts getting dry. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be shy. Go get yourself some of that lotion. All right, whatever you're using, Jergens, if you're using Aveeno, whatever it is, make sure you're staying nice and moisturized. Rite Aid's a spot for all that. But of course, as well, for all of our pharmacy services. And make sure you guys are getting my pharmacy account so you can refill your prescriptions. You can schedule your vaccines. Obviously, with the flu season, you want to make sure you get that as well. Your flu shot, get personalized care recommendations. You can sign up for prescription notifications. All you need to get started is a prescription at Rite Aid, and you can visit riteaid.com/mypharmacy. Make sure you stop stressing about those prescriptions. It can be super easy with Rite Aid and their My Pharmacy account. You can enroll in automated courtesy refill, so you don't have to worry. You can just walk in. It'll be right there ready for you, and that's the convenience that they're always giving you there over at Rite Aid. Get the app. Mobile apps are super convenient as well. You can transfer and refill your prescriptions through there. You can set up medication reminders as well. Super helpful. Transfer your prescriptions to Rite Aid today. Just go to riteaid.com/transfer. Rite Aid caring pharmacists are ready to answer your questions and help you stay healthy. Get your prescriptions along with anything you need at Rite Aid, including over-the-counter medications, household products, cosmetics, and much, much more. Just ask your pharmacy team for details. Keep in mind that restrictions do apply. Ladies and gentlemen, it's winter, so our spot is Rite Aid.
All right. Thank you, JP. TrueMark Financial. I am now a TrueMark customer. Opened my business checking account at the Audubon location last week. Donna, tremendous job hooking me up. Mary Ellen, the branch manager, just meeting a lot of the people. TrueMark, it felt like family to me going in there. It felt like it's like, okay, well, like what can we do for you today? All right, well, let's see what type of an account you want. You need this paperwork. Do you have all of this? You don't. Okay, well, let's try to figure out if we can get that for you right now. And I didn't say, hey, I'm Jon Marks and TrueMarks sponsors my show. I went in there as an everyday Joe. So if they're doing that for me, they're doing that for everybody, right? And TrueMark Financial's mortgage specialist right now, if you're in the market for a home, new home, maybe an investment property, something like that. Ton of inventory getting out on the market. Get with TrueMark so they can assess your finances and credit score, and then they can say, hey, here's how much you can borrow. Here's the interest rates that are going on right now. TrueMark Financial is there for you. TrueMark is federally insured by the NCUA and is an equal opportunity lender. For more info, visit truemark.com/PHLYITY. PHY. And TrueMark is TRUMARK. TrueMark. All right, couple things to get to before we get out of here. Let's send it to JP. He's got a portal update for us, JP.
That's right, guys. So let's check out what's going on. This portal stuff is as hilarious, by the way, guys. I'm absolutely enjoying this. So I found this one. I figure we could use some good vibes on this morning here. And listen, obviously there could be some negative stuff with the portal, but
does everybody know what the portal is? Everybody watching know what it is? So they opened up this virtual portal where it connects every 3 minutes. It goes to a different spot. So it's rotating between Lithuania, Poland, and Dublin, Ireland. And maybe there's more, right? There's one in New York. No, New York does the same thing. And it's in Love Park. Mm-hmm. So it's been here, like a week now or so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
this one's fun here.
Yeah.
So this one's, I think this was from yesterday. Or just last week, actually. Yeah, a little dancing, showing probably Lithuania, a little Philly swag. Some of the stuff is interesting, though. People are just like standing around this huge circle in the middle of a park.
Yep, and just waving to people, and people in whatever location are doing the same thing. I saw that somebody in Ireland that was wearing a Yankees hat, gave the finger to the Phillies. There was somebody with a Phillies hat. He turned around, he looked, and he gave the finger. It's pretty funny.
I love it. Look at that. Sending hearts over the portal.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is,
John, this is actually not bad.
No one's gotten shot in front of it yet.
Right.
Which is seriously a good thing.
It's like everyone's, smiling and happy. It seems to be pretty positive so far.
So you like it?
Portal. After seeing that, yeah. It seems harmless, John. And I think one thing that we keep forgetting, in this day and age, I know I'm young, but I sound old right now. But just like a nice smile, right? Like giving someone a nice smile, giving someone something to to have a good day with, right? It seems like everyone's just joyful and jolly in these portals, just saying hi to a different place. It doesn't seem bad.
There's no reason to be angry about it.
No.
Now, I would ask if there was, if anybody's, because no one's been injured and there hasn't been any real,
no OnlyFans
anything
models
bad
yet either.
happening. Yeah, a girl came up and flashed the portal.
I have not. I haven't. I saw the New York one. I haven't found her in Philly yet. But
Oh yeah, no, we don't even have to show it, but yeah, like she definitely comes right up and she flashes her breasts. And so what you learn from this is she's a local. Is it Jersey? Because Andrew's from Jersey, right?
no, Andrew is from Bucks County.
Oh, he's from Bucks, right? That makes it even
blanking on
more
where
sense.
exactly, but they're apparently from the same town.
Andrew Frazier, producer of the Anthony Gargano show, like he didn't grow up with her, but I guess she's from the same town that he's from, and I guess she became famous during the pandemic for licking toilet seats and putting the video on TikTok. At least that's what he told me.
Whatever you got to do, I guess.
And she's an attractive girl, so she did it in New York. She might have done it in a Trump rally too. So when I saw the video of her doing it in Philly, I like clicked on the video on social media, and she's the first person replying back to it saying, "Hey, that's me. I also did this." And if you click on her profile, there's a link to OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see what she's doing here. She's trying to get people to subscribe to her OnlyFans by doing this, and I give her credit. It's a good idea. Now, I'm not subscribing to OnlyFans, but that's why I was wondering what was going on. So yes.
She's a grade A marketer, John.
Got to give her credit. All she's doing is showing her boobies. And, she's probably getting follows on OnlyFans. I don't know how much money she's making from that, but.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the portal if anything crazy happens. But so far, I've only seen like good stuff.
So far, so
good. Jolly stuff.
There was a crack in it I saw, but it wasn't from vandalism. It was because the screws on the portal were too tight.
Okay, so I do see on top of the where the actual camera or like where the I guess the screen is.
Right.
There's like a little tiny circle, so I'm assuming that's where the camera is.
Right. Yeah,
That's
you can see
people,
it.
Okay.
Yep.
Great concept.
Yeah, I mean it is. I haven't seen it in person. I guess I could cruise over there after one of the shows, but probably not. But yeah, like it's pretty cool. All right, so on Sunday in Miami, the Heat unveiled a statue of Dwayne Wade. This might be my new favorite thing of all time. It's going to replace the crying Jordan. And I'm not telling you, when you see bobbleheads, you're like, when you get a bobblehead and you're like, it doesn't look anything like the player. This doesn't look anything like the person, right? It's like, who the hell designed this? Well, with statues, like you would hope that for a legend like Dwayne Wade, you would get a statue that was like, wow, this is awesome. Like all-time Heat player, championships, like Dwayne Wade. You want to make sure you're taking great care in putting the statue up there. Now, take a look at this. If you're watching on YouTube or Roku, this is Dwayne Wade. I don't know. I don't even know how to.
And this is from Global Index on Twitter here.
So are they putting a jersey on him when he's 75 or 80?
Dude.
And it doesn't look anything like him. Dwayne Wade's a handsome fella, right? Like that looks like a guy that, has problems scoring with the ladies or the men, if that's what you like.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
This is definitely up there with one of the worst statues there. How do they do D Wade wrong like this?
So I saw a list that had this as the third worst statue ever made.
Yeah,
and the ones that were in front of it, I don't even know if I really knew or cared to bring up. But this is certainly one of the worst statues I've ever seen.
And of course, the internet did their thing, John, with this. We got he looked like Morpheus.
He looks just like Morpheus.
Shouts to the Hater Report on Twitter. And then for all my kids that grew up with Power Rangers, Zordon, D Wade on. I like it. And then so here are some of the other ones. Now this is more of a hoax. So this is from was it the James Corden show? He used to have a show.
Oh, God.
And so they're pranking David Beckham. Probably the best MLS player of all time.
But this was a prank.
This was a prank. It was just super hilarious. It's giving the same energy.
Right. I mean, they're doing it on purpose. They're making it look bad on purpose.
But look at David's face. Like, he's just like, oh, it's but
so by the way, this was clearly not done on purpose. Because we have the sculptors or whoever.
We do. We got to hear from them. So here are the sculptors, guys.
They're trying to explain it. They're not happy.
Not happy.
I couldn't do better than that. I don't think anybody else could do better than that. It is what it is, and we would love it forever.
positive vibes you get yesterday are wonderful, and obviously with positivity there will be negativity from some, no matter what the finished product is. So how do you handle that?
I think I handle that like maybe any other professional athlete, that misses a game-winning shot, and then they're scrutinized, and all the fans are disappointed.
Yeah, but they
that's
missed the shot.
Moment. That's one moment, and when
this is
you do
bigger
what
than
we do
missing a
that's in the
shot.
public eye, you're never going to.
All right, pause it. That was your shot. The player gets more games to shoot shots. He lost that game because he missed a shot.
So they admitted that they effed up.
No, he didn't. It's a terrible explanation. No, if you and I don't have. We're not going to play the rest of it. But he's like, no, he thinks it's fine. They're mad as hell that they're getting crushed for this thing because it looks so bad.
It does.
But I have to thank him because if they didn't do this, we wouldn't have it, and this will live forever.
Definitely, we'll be living in.
That face is going to replace everything. Everything that the crying Jordan did before, and then some. You'll have the D Wade statue yelling face.
It's going to be everywhere, man. And it's just crazy because, like, Dwayne Wade, when I think of the Miami Heat, I think of Dwayne Wade. And you're going to go to, what is it, Kisa? I don't even know what they call it anymore. The old American Airlines. So you go down to that arena, you look outside, and you're like, oh, cool, Dwayne Wade statue. You go up and you're like, what's up with his face? Like, what is wrong with that?
So Dwayne Wade defended the statue. He said it don't need to look like me. Well, you're right, because it doesn't look like you.
How can you say? Of course, it has to look like you. It's a statue of you. So yes, it has to kind of look like you.
It's supposed to look like you.
And luckily, we do have some good statues here in Philly. I know everyone kills the Rocky statue, but it does.
No, it's just because we live here, and it probably gets overdone. The Rocky stuff.
I don't get the long lines, but
Well, no, but like when you watch an NFL broadcast, the only two things the city's ever done are a Rocky statue and cheesesteaks.
Yeah, they're always going to Gino's.
Chopping cheesesteaks. Yeah, that's the only thing Philadelphia's ever done. So like you get kind of fatigued from it, but. Like, if you're from out of town, one of the things that you want to do is you want to see the Rocky statue, and it's at the bottom of the art museum, which is great. So I think we should try to embrace it maybe a little bit more. But
what's the next statue in Philadelphia, John? If you had to predict,
I mean, they're not doing a B-Dog statue, right?
That's unfortunate.
Nick Foles, by the way, did not have a statue. That was an advertising campaign. I pushed back against the statue when people were like, Carson Wentz, they built a statue for his backup. No, they didn't. Bud Light built a statue for his backup.
Thank you, Bud Light.
It's already gone, isn't it? That's not up. That's not like a Dr. J or Steve Carlton statue. Or like, come on, give me a break.
The obvious answer is Jason Kelce.
Yeah, I mean, he checks the boxes. They're going to retire his number. He won a championship. Is he the number one seed from that team, from that run, the championship run, from the Super Bowl run? Is he the number one seed? Because Fletcher Cox doesn't have the love from the fans, and they might have been equally good players. Jason's going to make the Hall of Fame, and I think some of that is because how popular he is. But like he's Hall of Fame worthy. But Fletcher Cox also was a Pro Bowl level for his entire career.
But did he have the same popularity?
They don't. That's why Jason's ahead of him. BG's ahead of Fletcher, even though
Foles has the popularity, but the play is not there.
Yeah, you can't put him over Kelce because they both have Super Bowls.
I have to give it to Kelce.
Kelce's the number one seed. So if you were doing one statue from all that,
I will say if the Sixers or Phillies win one, which we're not going to win heavy with that one.
Bryce Harper
or Joel Embiid has to get a statue.
Yeah, Bryce Harper would deserve it.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper, the only thing that he needs now, and obviously you need him to play well over the next however many years, but if he wins a world championship, forget about it. Because he already has the city eaten out of his hands.
Yeah.
Because he knows exactly what to say, what to do. It seems very natural.
And that's all he needs, John. He just needs the World Series. He's done everything else.
Got close, brother. Got close. Might have been the best opportunity to do it. Just saying.
That's always hard.
I'm positive on the Eagles. It's not positive John on the Phillies right now, man. Not feeling great. Not feeling great. No.
Not feeling too hot about
Shout out to all the diehards out there.
You guys are the best.
Shout out to the diehards. Thank you very much.
We love you guys.
Donovan McNabb does not deserve a statue.
No.
As someone
too long gone too.
Someone just tweeted me here. Like, he's lucky that he has his number retired, honestly.
I thought that was too soon too, man.
He doesn't deserve
the minute he
the
minute he retired, we retired his number.
I believe it was a pity retirement because he pressured the team to do it. Is what I believe. I don't believe that he should have his number retired. He's the franchise's best quarterback without a doubt, right? Like, and he was a really good player. Statues and retirements and jersey retires are meant for the best of the best of the best, and that means he has that career and he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's funny because I was watching the Bears and Commanders on Sunday here, and dude, you ever think like there's a couple franchises who've never had a franchise quarterback? The Bears are one of them.
Ever.
That's insane. And the Bears are one of the oldest franchises in this league.
And they hope Caleb Williams is that guy. So far, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good.
That's fascinating. I can't believe you can go over 40 years without a franchise quarterback.
No, it's almost impossible.
It's crazy.
It's like you would, by dumb luck, you would have to.
And they've had some really good defenses in their history.
Yeah, it's a bad ownership. Bad franchise with there. Shout out to everybody that watches live every day at 8 o'clock on YouTube, and our Roku people as well. But everybody that watches live every day at 8 a.m. and contributes to the chat, even if you're not chatting it up. What I had a name for them. The Mad Chatters.
They were fun today. They were having fun with Harry Mays, reminiscing. By the way, in my senior year of high school, when I first got my car, I used to always have the Fanatic on. I would play music.
You told me you liked that midday lineup from Harry and Tony to Marks and Brace.
I used to love you. You and Brace were a lot of fun. But I used to always play it in the car, and sometimes the buddies would come in the car. And it was like, afternoon times, that's sports radio time. But, oh, no, put on Rick Ross, put on Meek Mill. No. We're going to listen to this first, and then later on we'll listen to the music. All right, relax.
Yeah, I would love to work with Harry again. Yeah. Honestly, I love Harry.
Great time, man. Great character.
Yeah, good show today. So shout out to the Mad Chatters. Thank you very much. If you're looking to follow PHLY on YouTube, get there, smash the subscribe button, like, comment, get involved in the show. Tell us what you think. We're trying to put more clips of the show out on social media, so that's a great way where you can catch smaller portions of it. We'll do the same thing with YouTube. Like, for instance, JP is going to cut up the Harry Mays interview, and that'll be something separate on YouTube.
Yep.
To where you can just watch that on YouTube if you're not going to watch the entire show. So get to YouTube, subscribe, all that jazz, and check us out on social media at Jon Jon Marks Marks Media at Jon Marks Media. That's Instagram, YouTube. I think that's TikTok as well. Although I still don't know how to use TikTok, but I'm trying to put a couple of videos out there.
John's doing well.
I'm trying, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, and email me jonmarksmedia@gmail.com. What do you got? How do we follow you there, JP?
It's easy. At Parcero, Parcero, Philly. That's on every platform. Still the Philly Parcero. But thanks, guys, for checking it out. It was a lot of fun. And we'll keep you updated with the portal tomorrow. We'll see what the Flyers do, and we'll keep the Eagles talk tomorrow as well.
Damn right. All right. See you live 8 o'clock tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow. See you.
We all silly like the mayor.